Hey everybody, how's it going? It's been a while since I made a video, but happy to be back. And so hopefully this might be my last video of the end of the year, but hopefully I'll be making some more content next year. That's the goal. January will be a busy month for me, I'm sure, but we'll get videos out. Wanted to share with you guys, if you see an update for your iPhone, this again for Apple users, because lately all the videos I've been making usually are for Apple users. Why? Because I'm an Apple user myself. And even though I do play around with Android from time to time with the Google Pixel, at the same time, there is always a reason why I've gravitated to the iPhone. Is it iMessage? Is it FaceTime? Probably not as much. I mean, I keep an iPhone around for FaceTime, but in terms of switching back over to Apple, there's one big thing they did. iOS 16.2. That's going to be a swell of an update. And the reason for that is because Apple launched their advanced data protections. Now, what that is for, and this is going to come towards the end of the year, so you should see 16.2 right around the corner, is they are offering something called end-to-end encryption for practically almost everything. So they've added iCloud backups, photos, notes. They've done your reminders. If I scroll through, I'm sure I'll probably see all the ones they have here. Yes, device backups, messages backups, iCloud Drive, notes, photos. That's a big thing with photos. I'll touch up on that in a little bit. Reminders, Safari bookmarks, Siri shortcuts, voice memos, wallet passes, and there's actually more. There's a lot of stuff that Apple has actually set as end-to-end encrypted by default, but the ones I just mentioned are ones that are not end-to-end encrypted by default, but you could make it end-to-end encrypted. And they've also added the ability for you to see, you'll get a notification if you're messaging with your friend on iMessage if somebody else, like say somebody's account probably got compromised or logged into a new device. They'll let you know that there's a new device and that your message might not only be seen by Alan Fernandez, but it could be seen by somebody else. So Alan's got to make sure that his account is secure, because the third thing Apple released is the option to keep your account safe with a security key. Even though this is a Titan security key, there's one that I'm looking forward to getting, and I would recommend to everybody, which is the Yubico security keys. I'll leave a link down in the description below. But that security key is an offline device that once you, has NFC. Once you tap it on the iPhone, it will grant you access to your account. And actually, a lot of companies use security keys. Funny enough, your Google account's the number one. Facebook, and there's some banks that do enable this. You can always talk with your bank, and if they haven't enabled it, ask them, hey, would you allow security keys to be a thing? Because security keys are essential to keeping your online accounts secure. And not many of them support it. So what I recommend to people is using iCloud Keychain to store your passwords, your emails, and also for your verification code. For Instagram, for example, you could do your authenticator code through iCloud Keychain, and then imagine backing those verification codes with a security key that you can keep in a safe, you can keep in a drawer, somewhere safe, and you can even set up recovery keys for your friends and family to help you gain access to your account if you lose access. Like if you forgot your security key or whatnot. So this is all good stuff. 16.2 is going to introduce a lot of great stuff. So the whole reason that this is really a big deal is, just to give you a few examples, FBI is upset. I'm just going to say that the FBI is very upset because they're saying Apple's making it more difficult. They've called their end-to-end encryption deeply concerning. And there is really a reason why, we're trusting law enforcement, we're trusting FBI less and less. They're giving us reasons to trust, and that's the question really they should be asking themselves, is why do Americans trust us less and less? What have we done to cause distrust in the American people? Really, I won't get into more of the FBI side because they've been very upset with Apple with and making iMessage end-to-end encrypted, and they've also were frustrated with Apple because of the whole I'll put it up on the screen here, but the whole issue that they had with getting into somebody's iPhone. So funny enough, though, it has allowed the public to trust Apple because of them doing that. But this feature is also going to to allow deeper security and deeper privacy, because not even Apple will be able to see your photos, people. Not even Apple will be able to see your photos. Not like what happened with that guy who took photos of his child to send to the doctor, and Google flagged it thinking it was child abuse, and it got his whole account shut down. Yeah, ridiculous things like that, where the companies have that much power over your online account. Granted, I want the FBI to be able to do their job. I do agree with Apple, just like they support law enforcement. I support law enforcement's ability to catch criminals and to be able to focus on the real crimes that are going on in this country. But to be able to essentially, use these big platforms like Google Photos to criminalize somebody, like, I feel like with Google, you're innocent until I'm sorry, you're guilty until you're proven innocent. And then with Apple, when you take that power back from the Apple, you are innocent until proven guilty, and that's how it should be. So it's really incredible, the fact that companies like Google, right? You're trusting Google with your data, but yet they're flagging things because by law they have to. But what happens is now Apple, they've decided to do away with that C-SPAN filtering in photos, and now they're actually saying, hey, we don't want to see your photos, we don't want to see what's in your notes, we don't want to have access to any of that data. So we're going to give you the security keys to where even if we are asked by law enforcement to have access, can you give us access to that data? We can't even see that data. The law enforcement now has to go through a warrant, like they should, right? And they have to request access from you who have keys to that data. Now, here's the other thing that a lot of people don't share is that law enforcement agencies, especially local law enforcement, can get hacked, and they can use emergency powers to have access to your data. And they've done it with Google. They've done it with several companies. So there is a worry about having law enforcement be hacked by hackers, right? And also the fact that there's a worry that your account will get hacked by hackers. So if there's a way for you to protect yourself, and there's a way to safeguard your online account, I think what Apple is doing is great. It's been praised by the CEO, the current CEO of the popular messaging app Signal, for its end-to-end encrypted nature. And the fact that now Apple is offering end-to-end encryption for most of iCloud is wonderful. It actually gets people like myself who had switched to Android and have been enjoying the freeness and openness, and who use Proton Mail and Proton VPN, now say, you know what? I think I will trust more of what Apple is doing, because they're actually giving me the security key. So it actually allows me to enjoy the ecosystem, but without having to worry about, is Apple going to turn their back on me and give this information to third parties, third party advertisers, or if hackers hack Apple, what happens? Well, because Apple gave me the keys, now I don't have to really worry about if somebody hacks Apple, because Apple doesn't have access to my data. I have access to my own data because of that end-to-end encrypted by design. And I love that. That's great. I wish this was on by default. It's not. You have to enable this when 16.2 comes out for your device. I would say update, and update your Apple devices, your Mac, your iPads, and watches, whatever. And that way you can also take back your data and be able to use these security keys. I think it's a really awesome thing. So it's great for privacy. It's great for security. There's a lot of questions whether, what is law enforcement going to do now if criminals start enabling this feature on their devices? Well, just like with anything, get a warrant and, go through the proper channels for that data. So I highly doubt that Google will enable something like this, or even Microsoft will enable something like this for Windows. This just makes the Mac much more of a trustworthy platform to use as the default desktop operating system. This also makes iPhone and iPad a more trusted platform to use as your devices. And I think, like for Apple, because they are selling their devices, right? They're not selling user data like other companies do. This makes Apple products so much more appealing, and this is going to help bolster Apple sales, especially going into the new year of 2023. So, it seems like Apple, yeah, they are using privacy to bolster up their sales, but it's working. It's working, and it's actually allowing us to trust the company more and more with our data, because that data now belongs to us and we're using them as a service, but they can't even see what's on our devices. And that means hackers who hack Apple won't be able to see what's on our devices. What do you guys think of Apple's advanced data protection feature? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you wish, if you were an Android user, do you wish that Google had implemented this? And if you are using something else like Proton, how are you keeping yourself safe on Android? I'd love to hear your comments below. If you hit like the video, hit that like button, share the video with somebody, and yeah, I'll be making more videos coming into the new year of 2023. But all of you guys, have a good one.